Oh, yes, bit of live music indeed. 18 minutes to 6. Billy's Buskers have arrived in the studio. It's very, what you can only describe as ragtime, Dee Dee, isn't it? And people come into the studio and they have to set up very quickly, and here's the microphone, here's the seat, and here we are, and everything else. And it's all absolutely live here in the studio at AW. It's great fun,
What a
Bill.
pleasure it is to have guests like this come in. And, Grub, I first heard Steve Boyd's Rum Reverie on a bloke show I listened to on a community station. His name is Max Crawdaddy. He's a tremendous supporter of Australian music.
Good mate of ours.
And I heard their new album called Hoodoo Hip Shake. It is one of the most exciting albums of the year. And I thought for our first show this year, we'd get Steve Boyd and Paul Fittis, who write the songs. Steve sings and plays the guitar, and Paul plays percussion and sings. And they're our first guests for a new series of Billy Buskers, and we welcome you both to our radio station, boys.
Thank you.
Good on you guys.
So much for coming in.
Thanks for coming in. Just a little bit up on the mic there. Remember what I said earlier?
Right.
That's right.
Cool. It's not too often people ask me to speak louder.
It's encouraged around here. That's what we want.
We'll hear you play today, but this is only a sort of a representation of the band. So the band is how many people typically?
It goes up to 8.
It goes up, yeah. It's up like a bit of a review sometimes. Like we have brass. We have a brass section which extends from a 2 to a 3-piece brass section at times. We have keyboards. Occasionally we have a second guitar player.
Guitarist, bass player. Where the budget allows, really. It's one of those, the smaller venues in Melbourne, the budget's a bit tighter, so we might have to cut a horn player or maybe leave out the second guitar player.
Yep.
So, but mostly it's around seven people in small pubs.
That's a pretty big sound. That's a pretty big fat sound in usually a fairly small pub. Some of the venues you like to play at?
Yep. Well, the regulars are Cherry on the Sunday.
Yep.
Cherry Bar.
Yep.
The Loman in Brunswick.
Yep.
Love the Loman.
Loman. Yeah, that's always a good one. We're there a lot. We're another favourite in Geelong is called Pistol Pete's. We're down there a lot. We're actually down there next Sunday. Mm-hmm. But anywhere that'll have us, really.
Now, the type of music you play, when you've got brass, I immediately think of Stax Records. I mean, is it that
But
sort
I
of
also
thing?
notice on your website, a reference to Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So is that the vibe you capture?
It's an element.
Yeah.
With this band, we wanted to actually touch it. This is going to be really hard work for us to push, or it's going to work really well. Have a bit of this. We've got a bit of soul. We've got a bit of blues. We've got that New Orleans, feel in there as well.
Yeah.
There's a bit of everything. Bit of gospel, some funky numbers. So this
Cajun sort of sound.
Yeah, there's a couple in there.
I think Billy's review sums it up perfectly.
The album
way you
review.
worked
That was really good.
Exquisite, Billy.
I think it's because in the past we've done bands where it's been one specific genre, and so it's like we got bored with that. So now we'll do everything.
I'm almost scared to ask, but I want to know how you landed on the name Steve Boyd's Rum Reverie. What happened there?
Oh my God! How do you answer that question?
It's actually a
No one
good
can
question.
remember.
It's a good question. We were fiddling around with names, and we just couldn't really. We knew it was going to be Steve Boyd or whatever's, but I can't even remember how that came about.
I like it. It's atmospheric.
Right.
Yeah, and the logo worked really well with it. And I go, that works good. So it's a bit of everything. It sort of sums up the music as well.
And you play your own music, or okay?
Yeah.
So when you've got your instruments here, as we said, this is just a sort of a taste of what you generally sound like when you've got the rest of
and we
some of the 80s.
normally there are electric guitars, blasting out, and we've purposely brought the acoustic guitar and just tried to give it the intimacy of how we actually come up with the songs in the first place. In a living room or a kitchen, over a couple of beers. Yeah. This is pretty much how it's done. So we wanted to give the honesty of that.
Okay.
What will you do for us now?
We're going to do a song from the album called Spencer P. Jones. For obvious reasons.
Yes.
If you just explain to our listeners, Spencer P. Jones was a much admired Melbourne musician who died about a week or so ago, played with a number of bands.
Yep.
And Stephen and Paul have written a song in tribute to Spencer, and it's part of their new album. So that's what Spencer B. Jones obviously meant to these boys and to the Melbourne music scene in general.
Terrific.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yep.
Terrific. Let's have a listen to it.
Yeah. He came in that day looking kind of fragile and tame, a little meek even, perhaps a little lost, I'd say. He wasn't wearing no cowboy hat, not at all. He was in fact dressed quite unassumingly, I guess. He seemed to blend in with the street, blend in with the crowd, appearing almost in disguise. Huh, no swagger, no strut, but still raw, still real. Oh, so very real indeed. I felt as though I chanced upon an opportunity to take a sneak peek through a window that otherwise had its curtains drawn. I felt as though he'd permitted me to view this room with the furniture, although a little dusty and torn in places, was antique, yeah, decadently rare. We drank strong black coffee, smoked cigarettes, and discussed the healing powers of music. He explained his desire to help share the gift, the truth, the holy, the unholy, and so very much more. He came down the stairs to play, cool as a breeze when it blew us all away. That was Spencer P. Jones. That was Spencer P. Jones. So I began to feel as though I got to know this guy a little as we met more often. I realized that just like me, he had his demons and his own cross to bear. I pictured the beautiful young dark-led woman who stole his heart and ran off somewhere. I knew exactly what he was talking about there. Yeah. Clumsily, I tried to empathize, but I realized, just as he knew, like I knew, that no words could possibly help heal those kinds of wounds. No words at all. No words at all. He came down the stairs to play, cool as a breeze when it blew. This highway will spurn some pigeon, yeah. It was my Spencer P. Jones. Ooh, did it not, did it not, did it, did it, He's about the primal and the instinctive, seemingly oblivious to all the bravado and trickery. He only played where and when he needed to. I felt it flow like water, like whiskey, like wine, like whiskey, like blood. The life he breathed into some cheap and nasty kid's guitar with a feather-thin pick from his pocket. Oh, man, I tell ya. I tell ya. I tell ya. Well, he came down the stairs to play, cool as a breeze,
He blew us out away, Spencer Pigeon. It was Spencer Pigeon. It was Spencer Pigeon. It was Spencer Pigeon. It was Spencer Pigeons. It was Spencer Pigeons. It was Spencer Pigeons. It was Spencer Pigeons. Spencer Pigeons. One more time. Spencer P. Jones.
Steve Boyd, Rum Reverie. And
Wow.
I've just got to say, make one comment. Can you put a bit more passion into your singing? And congratulations to Alistair behind the glass, just writing it beautifully too. Panicked at the end. Bit of a terrific cast. Can we take a break and have some more of you next here at the Weekend Break?
Please.
Steve Boyd and Paul Fidesz in the studio live with us here at 3AW.
Billy's Buskers this afternoon is Steve Boyd's Rum Reverie. Now, if you want to catch the guys live, they're playing a free gig on Sunday, September the 9th at Pistol Pete's Food and Blues in Geelong. Check out their website. It's steveboydsrumreverie.com, and the guys are on Facebook as well. Just look up Steve Boyd's Rum Reverie. Guys, can we have another song before you go?
Sure. You bet you can.
We thank Billy. We thank Teddy. We'll see you next week. Take it away, guys. What do you got for us this time?
We got a song here from the album, from the Hoodoo Hip Shake called Don't Like You, and I'd just like to, it's Father's Day, and I'd like to dedicate this to my beautiful wife, Jessica. This is for you, sweetheart. It's a song I wrote about her. A two, a feet, a four! Yeah. Loudly. That's right now. Don't let do sweet morning bonding dew from the window which shines out on you to kiss your cheek. Yeah. Know my appetite for you, baby. It's growing stronger with each beat of my heart. Well, yes, it is. I hear the hymns of the heavenly limbs in my head. Lay before your altar and worship at your shrine. Don't let you sweet morning morning dew from the window which shines on blue to kiss your cheek. Oh, as you stir beneath my finger, well, I took the dreams from your lips. Well, baby, like a desperate child, like a river running wild.